Hey, what's going on everybody, Paul Tech here, and welcome to the unboxing and full review of the Maze Alpha. So the good folks at GearBest did send this out to me for review, so big shout out to them. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the unboxing process and then we'll jump into the full review. So take a look at the back of the box. You'll see this is a 6-inch bezel-less display, which we'll talk a little bit more about in this review. This is also rocking the MediaTek Helio P25 processor. You got a dual rear camera setup there, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of ROM. This is running Android Nougat. Type-C charging on this, 4,000 milliamp hour battery, and this also has a fingerprint sensor. So far, just taking a look at the box here, I am liking the presentation that I see here. You got that sleeve that I just removed, Maze branding to the bottom there. Now this box is a flip style box. I'll go ahead and show you here. It does flip open, and then you are presented with your Maze Alpha resting right there when you open up the box. I'll go ahead and remove it here and just show you it real quick. Now I'm going to place this off to the side because I want to show you what else comes in the box if you decide to go ahead and purchase the Maze Alpha. So we have this little, what appears is going to be like some reading material inside of here, maybe a user's manual. I'll go ahead and flip it over, and you do have your SIM ejector tool right there, so that's nice. It's going to give you access to your micro SD card as well as your SIM card. Let me go ahead and open this up just to verify what is inside here and take a look at that. This is actually very cool. They actually include 2 tempered glass screen protectors in the box, so I definitely like that. And then of course you get some reading material there, a quick start guide. And placing that off to the side, you do get a USB Type-C data cable, so you do got USB Type-C charging on this device. And then there is your wall brick there. You got some Maze branding. Now the thing with this, it does charge, it does have fast charging at 9 volts at 2 amps. Alright, so that's basically it for the unboxing of the Maze Alpha. Let's go ahead and jump into the full review. And jumping into design and build, you got your volume rockers, power button to the right hand side. They do feel very tactile, very responsive in the past week of using it. And I know to the bottom there, it does look like 2 dual down firing speakers, but it's only the far right one, and the left one is your microphone Type-C charging on this device. And to the left hand side, you do get a tray there for your SIM card as well as your micro SD card. And then up on top, you'll see this device does have a headphone jack. You can also see some antenna lines there to the top as well. And to the back of the Maze Alpha, you do got this kind of glossy black finish to the back there. It does pick up quite a bit of fingerprints and oil, so just kind of keep that in mind. You also get a 4,000 milliamp non-removable battery in this device, and it does have a pretty heavy weight to it. You got the dual camera setup as well, the 13 megapixel plus a 5 megapixel rear facing camera. Let's go ahead and move on and talk a little bit about the display here. Now you're looking at a 6-inch bezel-less display, but it's not really bezel-less. You can still see the bezels around the top and sides of the device. It has 2.5D glass, IPS LCD panel, 1080 by 1920, 376 pixels per inch. It also has a 16:9 aspect ratio, 83% screen to body ratio. This also has Corning Gorilla Glass 4. And to the front bottom of the device, you're going to notice this very large chin to the bottom there. That is actually housing the fingerprint sensor as well as the front facing camera. It is 5 megapixels, but that chin is definitely large in my opinion. Now, in the past week of using this device, the fingerprint sensor has actually been very good. It's very accurate. As soon as I put my finger on the sensor, it unlocks the device each and every time. And in the past week of using the Maze Alpha, I wasn't able to connect to 4G LTE, only Edge on Metro PCS, so just be sure that this device will be compatible with bands in your area. I was still able to make phone calls, and phone calls actually came in very good on both ends. And I was also able to send out text messages, receive text messages perfectly fine. The keyboard sensitivity is actually really good on this device. Auto correction works perfect. I'll go ahead and show you here some of the emojis that are pre-installed on this keyboard, and this is stock. This is what you get on the Maze Alpha out of the box. And to the home screen, the user interface is actually very basic, very clean and simple. There's no app drawer on this device, but I mean, you can always download Nova Launcher and you'll be good to go. There's also no bloatware on this device, so you're pretty much getting a stock Android experience. Now, as you can see, there is on-screen buttons, but you can have those disabled, and you can just use the fingerprint sensor as your back and home buttons, so I really do like that option. So if you like using on-screen buttons, you have that option, or you can go ahead and just use the fingerprint sensor. I'll go ahead and show you, give you a demonstration here in the app drawer. So I am in this application here, so just one tap on the fingerprint sensor takes you back. Hold down on the fingerprint sensor takes you to your home screen. And one thing I noticed using the Maze Alpha is that this is a pretty heavy device compared to some other devices on the market. It's also kind of difficult to use one-handed because of its large 6-inch display. So I mean, pulling down the status bar, getting to your notifications, you're probably going to have to use two hands in order to do that. Now you do got some software options here, so you can shrink the screen down to actually give you some good one-handed operation. So I do like that feature there. All you gotta do is just swipe from the bottom there, right and left, and you'll get into that one-handed mode. And let's go ahead and jump into settings here, and then I'll show you a little bit around some of the features this device has to offer. I'll go ahead and scroll down here, and what I want to jump into is display here, and also show you that this device has what is called mirror vision, and I really like this. I've used this on some other smartphones, and it actually works pretty good. And in the picture option there, you got 3 options to choose from: standard, vivid, and user mode. I personally like the vivid. It does have a little bit more of a saturated look. And backing up out of there, you also have a dynamic contrast option, which you can either enable that or disable that. Me personally, I've had it enabled, and it does add a little extra contrast to your display there. And then you also have a blue light defender as well. This is going to offer a little bit better viewing comfort, and you can also have that either enabled, disabled, and you can also adjust the blue light defender option there. And you have another cool option under settings. If you decide to use on-screen buttons, you can actually have the option to change the navigation directions of them, so that's pretty cool in my opinion. And when it comes to storage on this device, out of the box, it only uses 50.40 gigabytes out of the 64. Now, if you use a micro SD card, you can actually format that SD card as adoptable storage, so that's excellent in my opinion. And then scrolling further down, you'll see you got these different options here as well: gesture motion, gesture unlock. And the gesture unlock is actually really cool. I like that feature. On the lock screen, you'll just draw these different letters and it'll unlock that specific application. Now moving on to the fingerprint sensor here, you get some additional features with that fingerprint sensor. So you can also not just unlock your device, but you can also use that fingerprint sensor for different actions, and you can use that on any finger. And this device is also rocking Android 7.0 Nougat, so you do get a lot of the benefits that come along with Nougat. Now, what's under the hood of this device? You are getting the MediaTek MT6757 processor, Octa Core, Mali T880 as a GPU. And when it comes to the sensors in this device, you do get a couple sensors, as you can see here. Most importantly, you are getting the gyroscope, the gyro sensor. And when it comes to Geekbench 4, this scored 856 single core score and 3,631 multi-core score. And in terms of performance and just how well this device has held up in the past week, it's actually done a pretty good job. It's a pretty positive experience using this device. I noticed it's just not going to be the fastest device out there, but at the same time, nor is it going to be the slowest. But just jumping from certain applications that I use on a daily basis, this device actually does pretty good. When it comes to the multitasking, this is another area where I didn't have an issue with. The multi-window mode or the split screen actually works pretty well. And if you're the type that likes to use Google Assistant on your smartphone, that is on board on the Maze Alpha. Now moving on to watching YouTube videos, the highest quality you're going to be able to watch is going to be 1080p at 60 frames per second. But I'm telling you, it's a great experience pretty much watching anything on this device, whether it's Netflix, a YouTube video. That 6-inch 1080p display looks great. Viewing angles are nice as well. Color reproduction looks good. And you know you have that large chin to the bottom there, but it does give you a good place to hold the device while watching a video. And in terms of the sound quality with the downfiring speaker, it does get pretty loud, but when you put it on maximum volume, you are going to notice some distortion that does occur. Now when it comes to gaming on the Maze Alpha, it's actually a pretty positive experience as well. I didn't notice any type of overheating issues while playing Asphalt 8. It ran it very smooth. I was actually pretty impressed by just how good it did perform when it came to gameplay, so it should be a pretty good experience on this device. And moving on to the cameras on the Maze Alpha, in my opinion, the best quality you're going to be able to capture photos and videos is probably going to be outdoors in really good lighting conditions. You got different modes to choose from. This blur mode was actually pretty disappointing. It didn't work very well where you have the center in focus and the background blurred out. It just doesn't work good. The mono option actually probably works better where the photo is just black and white. You also got a pro mode here, professional mode with some manual controls, which does work okay as well. And if you want to use the front facing camera, you are going to have to turn the device pretty much upside down to use it that way to capture selfies. Front-facing camera does produce some pretty nice photos. Like I said, low light is going to get really grainy on this device. Here are some sample photos taken on the Maze Alpha. Now when it comes to the 4000 milliamp hour battery on the Maze Alpha, I was able to get through an entire day off a single charge, and as well as a little over 6 hours of screen on time with this device. Now when it comes to outdoor visibility with the Maze Alpha, I mean, this device doesn't have the brightest display. It's a nice display, but not the brightest. I do have to have the brightness to about 90% for good outdoor visibility. Well, to wrap up this unboxing and full review of the Maze Alpha, I think you're getting a pretty solid package here. Again, this device has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of ROM. It's running 7.0 Nougat. You're getting practically a bezel-less design on this device. Again, you do get that large chin there, but it does house the fingerprint sensor and the front-facing camera. And to the back of this device, I don't think it is a glass panel. I think it is plastic, but it does pick up quite a bit of fingerprints. Well, if you're interested in picking this device up, I'll drop a link to GearBest's website down below. You can purchase this for about $182 right now. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button and please subscribe to the channel for more future videos. This is Paul Tech, and I'll talk to you in the next one.